Hey guys, real quick before we get started. This episode has a portion that takes place on the Thunder Plains, which is a place that has lightning flashes, which show up on the screen and could trigger seizures in certain people. I just want to give a quick warning for this episode that when we get to the Thunder Plains and we're not in the middle of an actual fight, maybe look away if you're someone who that could be a problem for. Anyways, enjoy the episode. Thunder, thunder.
I've never been a big AC/DC guy. No.
Kind of fits the moment though, right?
That 70s rock.
Is it true? I heard that Maester Seymour and Lady Yuna are to be wed.
Where did you hear that, dude? We haven't said anything to him yet. You should tell
it already
nobody.
leaked out on the magical social medias.
They were all very excited.
All that information travels through these lightning towers.
You heard a little wrong. Yuna's gonna turn him down.
Shocks into someone's ancient tablet. Here you go.
Really?
Just kidding.
I see.
I'm not that mean.
That's unfortunate. Well, I'm sure that people would have
Shalinda
rejoiced
wanted to get
all
with
over Spira.
Seymour. Is that what I'm
No,
gathering here?
she just would have been psyched for the wedding, which is,
Oh.
that kind of thing.
She wants to be a bridesmaid.
She doesn't have to be a bridesmaid. Lulu and Riku would be the bridesmaids. They're in the party, Ryan.
Come on, Lulu and Yuna, they don't seem to have much of a relationship.
They absolutely
To be
do.
fair, Yuna only seems to have a relationship from what I've gathered with you. She doesn't really sit down and talk with anyone else, except for now Seymour. But Seymour didn't really, he just asked her to marry her. So,
I
kind
they
of
established that like Waka, Lulu, and Yuna had they'd grown up together. They have a history.
They can establish all they want. I'm reading what they have shown me. They do not communicate together much.
Almost
they communicate
never.
in a group.
Yes.
The only communication personal that I've seen is between Steve and Yuna. There's a little bit of other stuff occasionally.
There you go. If you want a Kamari in there, just put that thing.
I feel like the relationship is that they're her guardians. You're
At this
basically
point, yes.
describing to me, hey, yeah, man, just like the same way the president has a relationship with the Secret Service people who work for him. Like, that's the same. Like, that to me, it's like, that's not the same thing. I'm talking about a relationship.
Yeah.
You know? Like, they know each other. What do you know about Yuna up to this point? What's her favorite color, you think? Do you know?
Green.
You think green? Oh, because of the color of her eye?
Yeah, for one eye.
Yeah. A one-eyed Almed.
Fuck yeah. Okay, well, you're not.
She just, she loses. Yeah, that's her villainous turn. That's her Metal Gear Solid turn. She gets her eye cut out, her other eye, so then she just embraces the fact that she's an Albed and just covers her eye with an eye patch and just becomes evil and gets a weapon.
Half Albed, Ryan. I forget.
Yeah, but she would embrace it, is what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
She goes full Worf. At that point, she's like, I'm a Klingon.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Klingon...
Focus.
Klingon had a much more interesting...
Still random battle area here in this little zone. Do.
I should probably put warnings in at the start of these episodes, that they're... Because people are gonna... This is potentially seizure-inducing, so I'm just gonna put in a...
Why?
little note for myself. With the lightning flashes.
Really?
Yep. I'm just to be careful, I don't want to be the guy who gives somebody a seizure and kills anybody, because I was like, oh, I'm too lazy to put things in.
I mean, I'm sure if you have those conditions by now in this world, you probably have enough information to keep you
Ryan,
abreast
I
of
work in a
what you
restaurant
should
where
be.
people don't even know about their own allergies, okay? I don't have a lot of faith in the average person.
Well, but you can't be faulted for someone not knowing if they have a nut allergy. I mean, what are you supposed to do in that situation?
No, it's people who don't tell you about their allergies. You're like, well, why did you not know about this? And I'm like,
What?
Not idiots.
Wait, so they had an allergy, they didn't mention it, something was cooked with something, and then they said, why didn't you...
Yep, that has happened before.
There is a logical series of events that starts, and then there's a middle that happens there, and then I don't know how they end up where they are.
Yeah,
so they're Steve.
Idiots, right?
They're Steve. They're Steve in the plot to relate it to the game. There's a logical starting point where we're at the Blitzball game, and then I have no idea how we ended up where we are.
Yeah.
Fighting these demons in some different timeline.
Don't hit Mario again. Okay. You didn't. herbivores. Yeah, no, people are idiots, Ryan. That's what it is.
It's totally cool if you have an allergy, but I mean,
You tell me about it. Yeah, like
what do you think that? Are you really so shallow to think that unless it says peanut butter, that you'll never encounter peanut butter on the menu? Hey, I didn't order a peanut butter sandwich. Like, yeah, weird. People cook with all sorts of ingredients.
Ability sphere.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. People are really dumb,
It's almost
man.
like you have ability spheres, power spheres, magic spheres. There's
I've
all
been having
sorts
a
of
lot
spheres.
issues
They're
with
still all spheres. Sometimes they intermingle. You know, you got to tell me if you have a sphere allergy.
Well, there's an episode name. Couldn't find one at the start of the last one. Sphere allergy.
What do you
Let's
say
do
to
it.
those people? How do you resolve that situation?
Well, a lot of times they won't tell me outright, but I can
Just
pick
call
up
them
on
dumb.
when they have allergies.
How do you pick up on it?
If they're like, oh,
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
If they have like a gluten allergy, they won't always say it, but I'll be like, what kind of roll would you like? They're like, oh,
Why
can I
won't
get
they
something-
say it?
Because they're dumb, Ryan. I don't have a better answer for you. And I'm like, oh, do you have an allergy? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, you have to fucking tell me that, idiot. If it's not too much
Yeah, we
trouble
could
next
kill
time.
you, man. Depends on how allergic you are.
Like, well, I thought you guys do your fries in a different fryer. And I'm like, we do if you tell us that you have an allergy. If you don't, we're not going to. Oh, I thought you just
Wait.
would. No. Why would we if we don't have to? Give ourselves a giant headache. I have absolutely no problem not, like, putting your shit in a different fryer if it's going to hurt you, but you have to fucking tell me about it, you dumbass.
Like, see, a part of me wonders if that's a byproduct of the fact that
People are idiots.
more and more people are having these allergies, and they're just expecting that places should just adhere, like, automatic. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you say you go to some hipster restaurants. I'm not trying to use that as a derogatory term. I just, you know what I mean?
I do.
And like everything on the menu is gluten free. They're just like, we don't do that. It's that way. If someone has an allergy, they don't even need to worry about it coming here. And it's like, and it's like, I'm okay if you do that, but there's clearly going to be restaurants like
Yeah,
your
have a
own.
gluten-free menu.
You work at the Chalet, the Swiss Chalet. It's a freaking chain. You think that is a place? You wouldn't go to McDonald's and be like, hey, I just assumed you cooked your fries in a different fryer. You can get the same thing. I'm pretty sure you can get
We do.
gluten-free fries at some McDonald's now, can't you?
I don't know, probably.
I haven't been to McDonald's in forever, so
Me neither.
I just assumed
You're
you
asking
could.
the wrong person.
They have robot touchscreen menus, or automatic order things. That sounds like it's starting to get to the level where if you wanted to hit a button that said gluten-free, you could, right? Because that's not a hassle.
No, probably. That's how we do it.
I know of some fast food joints having gluten-free options, I should say. I don't know about McDonald's, but yes. Like again, right? But you wouldn't expect them to automatically do that.
No.
Like they're called, you know what I mean? It's fast food. What do you think?
Yeah. People are dumb, Ryan. I feel like
And
we
you're
said that a lot
not.
this
You're a
episode,
restaurant, but you're like an Americanized chain restaurant. You're Swiss Chalet.
I mean, we exist solely in Canada, but sure. Oh, it's Ivory Eastern.
Like that's like going to the East Side Mario's and complaining that that their pastas, they only have carbonated or carbohydrate pasta and they don't have, like, you know what I mean? I just
Bada
assumed
bing, baby.
I just assumed that you had the vegan or the, what is it, the, what's a carb, there's a term for when you go on carb, keto, is that what it is?
I don't fucking know.
There's so many diets. There's so many things you have to keep track of. Oh.
I'm on the Dan Reichert diet of pizza and Taco Bell.
Yeah, I'm like you. I eat a little healthier, although I should say I like eating a
clearly
little healthier.
you eat healthier than me. Everyone in the world eats healthier than I do.
But like I'm okay eating carbs in the morning, and I'm okay eating sugars and stuff. I'm not really worried about it.
Right.
But like I like to make sure I get my vitamins.
Speaking of diets, I think it's time that we bring them out.
Yeah. We don't have Little Caesars here.
No?
We have
You
the
have to
subsidiary.
open up this
yeah.
like weird portal, and then cast it.
I'm trying to remember the name of the subsidiary. I think it's Pizza Pizza.
It's an Ontario thing, isn't it? And then you have to pull him out by his horn.
What's
An
ours
electric
then?
lightning thing. I don't
Maybe
fucking
ours is
know.
Little Caesars. I don't know.
don't
I know
live
we have a
near
place
you.
that's hot and ready, and I'm pretty sure it's
That's
owned
Little
by the Little
Caesars?
Caesars company. But
Yeah.
like, I don't
That's
know if
the-
it's actually called Little Caesars. It might have a different name. You know how they still sometimes do that because of for reasons. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate
No.
when companies do that.
No.
I can understand it if you bought a brand and you want to keep the brand in its menu. That's a different situation, right? But if you bought a store that does the same thing you do, It doesn't matter what. Just call it your thing. It does the same thing, but maybe there's legal reasons. I'm sure.
So one thing I should mention is that
Some guy owns a
have
little shop called
elemental
Little Caesars in Alberta or something.
have elemental types, right? So thunder actually heals.
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
That's the reason I pulled out Little
Yeah,
Caesar.
you didn't. I think you mentioned that, right? It's been pretty evident thus far.
Oh, maybe I didn't.
Because Ifrit has the fire.
Yes. And you can also
Sorry,
cast it on
Dave.
yourself, but if your enemy casts it on you, same thing. And yeah, call him by his real name, please.
Dave. Also, Little Caesar is actually probably not the mascot. Although, actually, you know what? Maybe we've just made that canon. The little guy that's on the pizza box or whatever, that is Little Caesar.
Yeah, sure. The little brother.
He needs Little Caesar needs to go through a rebrand, and he needs to become a rapper. I'm Little Caesar, son. He needs to like.
He just did with him. Well, no, he turned into that thing from Parks and Rec, Little Sebastian. But he's
I haven't
Little
seen
Caesar
Parks and Rec.
instead. Okay.
I know everyone loves it. It's the Chris Pratt show I should watch that people say is
Yeah.
good. And it has other good actors in it. It has what's his name?
Disease.
Mustache guy. Mean mustache guy throws out computers.
Nick Offerman.
I've seen its memes. Don't worry.
Yeah, Nick Offerman. I know what I'm about, son.
That was a close one.
Another whoa, man.
Stop kidding around.
Yes, ma'am.
Ha!
Wow, instantly he just shuts up.
Lulu's. Oh,
Riku, that was creepy.
What's wrong?
Yep.
Oh no, she's the ring girl. Everyone run.
You're giving me the creeps.
Well, at least Steve has a normal reaction for once.
Come on, like you laugh normally, Steve. Jeez.
Really?
You just pot calling
Steve
kettle
do that?
black there.
Oh,
Well, she fainted. Let's not aid her. Let's just run.
no, she didn't faint.
Whoa.
Whoa!
I want to go home. I hate
Are you a Zerg now?
I hate thunder. Let's go rest over there.
Get out of here. You're just a kid. You're just a she's a scaredy cat.
This storm
she's a fraidy
never
cat.
stops. Better to cross quickly.
I know, but just for a little while.
No.
Well, what
Should have
now?
stayed with Oron. Oh wait, Oron is here. Never mind. You're right. That was into the far
That was
far
the
plane.
Come on, Ryan.
Pretty please.
How about you stay at this door
Just
here?
a few minutes.
Everyone just ignores her and is like, alright, we're leaving.
I'm scared of lightning. Let's rest, please.
Why can't you just rest alone?
Pretty please.
Because then she'd be
I'm
left
too
behind by the
young
group.
to die.
It's okay. You're not
She's
gonna
a guardian
die.
now.
You're mean, cruel. Your moms would be ashamed of you.
Lady, you could just lay down. Like you're like
Are you having
12.
fun doing this to
15.
me?
Fine.
Okay, then she's clearly okay to lay alone in a room.
The storm.
No, but then she doesn't. She gets left behind by the group.
We'll be back, I'm sure.
We're not.
Listen,
I'm
we'll be back.
tired. Do you have a room available?
No.
Ah, Lady Summoner. Yes.
Lots of
just
travelers
over
out in
that
these
way.
lightning storms.
Thank you.
There is a whole travel agency here.
Yuna?
We didn't see anyone other than fiends on the way here.
It's not like her.
Well,
Typical
nobody
travel
hangs out
route through
there,
fiends.
But this would be a place that they would hang out.
But how would they get here? They'd have to fight fiends, so you'd only have
Yeah.
warriors.
Summoners and their guardians.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be that busy of a place.
Dude, the
like
entire
you're gonna get
world was
regular
like
folk.
that. Fucking the first island we were on was like that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of the casuals that don't want to travel. Even what's her name here is who is a guardian doesn't want to go.
It's not
Riku.
easy being a guardian to a summoner so young.
Sure.
Grumble.
Resting. Go away.
Okay, chill out, dude.
Leave me be.
Yuna looked preoccupied.
And they all really have
Was it
really
because of
interesting things to
Jessica?
say about Yuna.
Well,
I
that's
wonder
kinda-
what's
Nothing
wrong
about
with Yuna.
themselves.
No, they really don't.
Are you that scared?
Oh, except for Riku.
Finally,
When I was little, a fiend attacked me while I was
a
swimming.
story.
at the
Holy
beach.
crap!
My brother tried to beat it back with a spell,
His name was Yuna.
but he
Actually,
missed and hit me instead.
his name is Brother.
It was a thunder spell.
That's pretty bad.
Ouch.
Ouch,
I've been
kabibble.
scared of lightning ever since.
But you better not
But it can
play
be
Final Fantasy
effective.
13. Lightning Returns.
Magic
Oh,
is
damn it.
effective against marine
That was a
fiends.
bad joke.
My brother said that too.
You should learn some
She's in
spells
that,
too.
I'm sure. All connects. Final Fantasy verse, that's not connected at all, I don't think.
Oh, it's our
Maybe
boy Rin.
later.
just
Nice
came out
to
of the.
see
I love how
you
he came
again.
out after the
Welcome
lightning strike.
to
Dramatic.
The Rin Travel Agency.
I love Rin.
Hey.
Rin's great. He's like,
Oh.
hey.
Be quiet.
Well, he knows that she's not bad, right? Because he's not bad.
How goes your study of our language? That
No
is
good.
good to hear. Allow me to present you with
If you
this
say
book
not good, he
for
doesn't
your
give you
study.
another one. So I'll take this other one.
Another
now we know
book.
that
We
HSR
know end
actually
now.
ends.
Yeah.
I wonder, would that be Sir Orin by any chance?
See, the problem is
as I
that's not how
thought.
language actually works.
I've been wondering since I saw
No.
him at the Mihen High
No, it's
Road
not.
branch.
The Google Translate isn't turning letters into other letters.
Sir Orin,
It's trying to find
I
how
wonder
what
if you
terms
remember
mean
me.
in another language
10
entirely,
years ago, at the
which
beginning
sometimes
of
can be
Lord
like
Braska's
7
calm.
different words
Yeah.
Yes. I should
or
thank
less.
Not at
Also,
all.
like Japan
could
or
not
China
leave a
are
wounded
perfect
man
examples
to
of
die.
Oh, we're learning
non-words.
a little bit about Orin's backstory, dude.
However, I was surprised when I saw you gone
mean
the
Jax?
next morning with that wound.
Maybe.
An
Right after
ordinary man
Braska
would not have
beats
been able
Sin.
to walk.
Rin found a really fucked up Orin.
I'd rather drop that subject, Rin.
As you wish.
Weird. Orin doesn't want to talk about himself. That's not unusual.
Maester Seymour and his entourage passed by a while ago.
Of course
See,
they
other
did.
people come here.
And the Maester
Somehow there
is
were
to
still
be
fiends
married
on the
soon.
way. They didn't kill them all.
Excuse me, where did you hear that?
The Guado are telling everyone.
Oh, they are they?
They should wait for
Okay.
an answer.
You're just allowed to go back there. Yuna, everyone's talking about you. Are your ears burning?
What?
Are you... Oh, don't eavesdrop, Steve.
What is he, a peeping Steve?
Yeah. I mean, you just checked to see if nobody was listening. I mean, she could be doing personal stuff, Steve. Oh, you know what? You have this one coming.
Whoops.
Yes?
Ow.
That thing is vibrating and shaking really weirdly.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Well,
Sometimes when girls go into rooms on
it's
themselves, they
nothing
use
really.
things that vibrate and shake
I
really
just,
weirdly.
That was
You shouldn't
a
have walked
religious
in on it.
statue, I think,
Uh,
of a maester.
I'm sorry.
sphere.
I shouldn't have.
The ancient maester.
come
Oh,
in.
that's what you're doing when you do the grid sphere?
No, this is a...
Hey,
You're vibrating to a higher frequency?
wasn't
Yeah.
that Jisco Guado guy?
Oh yeah, that was her dad. Yeah, that was the statue of the dad.
The sphere
Moore's
is
dad.
his will. It says, take care of my son.
It's basically like a videotape.
Huh.
We should put it in the VCR.
His son, Seymour?
Why did you just do like a weird?
Yeah. that
Well,
was not
I know
normal
one
for
way
this.
to take care of him.
What, is that a...
Lean in
sorry.
really weird and stand.
Was that like a fucking jizz joke? Like, what the fuck?
Thanks. I'll just stay in your room then that I broke into.
Oh,
Oh,
we
Waka.
spy
I guess
on
this is a party
uh,
party in Yuna's room, guys. Party.
What do you think you're up to?
Oh, headlock.
Yuna was acting funny.
Yeah. She'll tell us when she's ready, so hold your chocobos till then.
Hold your chocobos.
I feel like Waka beats the fuck out of Steve every chance he gets. He puts him in so many headlocks in this game. They're basically wrestlers. That's what we've discovered.
Waka invented the headlock.
I mean, he absolutely did. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here.
It's not stopping, is it?
No, Riku, we covered
Don't
that.
tell me you were hoping it would.
See ya.
Fine.
Someone just
stay here.
vanquished. Did you see that?
Yep.
There was someone behind
Alright
Riku
already.
that is gone. Roll the tape back, I tell ya.
You didn't have to
Pretty
say
sure
it
that's
like
not
that.
Either
you
that or
know.
it was a ghost when the lightning came and showed a
You
silhouette
could be
there that
more
then
comforting
disappeared.
or something.
It happened too
You
fast
know,
for me to tell
trying
which
to
one.
cheer me up. You just don't get
Why?
me at all, do you?
Yeah, Orin and Riku are kind of pulled
How
up.
are we supposed to cheer you up if you're
listening?
reacting to this thing that we can't change?
She's got some hopes.
I'm not scared.
Do you know the only type of creatures that are still scared of lightning? Cows. Are you as dumb as a cow, Riku? Get out of here.
It's a fair thing. zaps.
Yeah, it can strike people when you're journeying in it. I can understand wanting to be cautious, but there's not really much anyone can do about it.
That guy just took a picture of us.
Like, you're going on a dangerous adventure as a guardian when defending people. You don't think there's going to be some risk involved?
Well, she's been a guardian for like 10 minutes, dude.
I know.
She's been afraid of
She's
lightning
also a
since she was
kid. She might have been thrust into this responsibility a little too quickly.
I mean,
She needed to go through the guardian trials and grow up a little and become an apprentice to a greater guardian. You know,
we're almost 2
drill.
years older than she is.
Well, yeah, but
Also-
we traveled through time 1,000 years. That's got to be worth something.
Yuna's also only 17. Also, fucking Riku still
Yeah, but
shows
she's
up
the
to
summoner,
fights.
so she's not the guardian. She's the summoner, so that's a different situation.
Is
They have
it?
a different set of rules for summoners.
Sure, okay.
Well, it
I
seems
mean-
like it. Summoners are like the people who have all the power. Guardians are the people chosen to be guardians by a summoner. So, yeah. I mean, guardians appear to be the people who the summoner randomly encounters thus far. Hey, I met you. You want to help? Okay.
That actually seems to be a unique thing. That was even what
Yes.
Donna was
So
trying to make
being
fun
a
of
guardian
before,
isn't
right?
really that big of a deal. Yuna makes everyone a guardian. You want to help? Okay. I mean, clearly she made this 15-year-old girl who's scared of lightning a guardian, so there's no bar.
Well, she
Sorry,
did
I
someone
think
who
being
does
scared of
machines,
lightning's a
right?
little silly.
She was literally zapped by it.
I've been burned. I'm not as scared to use the stove. I mean, come on. At a certain point,
Magic.
the tools we use are dangerous. So our tools are dangerous too. You've been cut with before, right? With a knife. You still use a
Never.
knife.
Never. Stop using them.
Never cut yourself with a knife. Man, I've been deep cut with knives before.
Yeah, but you
Just
you
hazards.
You had a harsher upbringing than I did, Ryan.
No, I wasn't like cut like stabbed.
I don't
mean,
know.
cut like while doing activities that you. I said tools. Cut while cutting vegetables or
wouldn't that count
gardening
as a
or
tool? I don't know.
doing any type of task that you would normally cut your hand or something. That's what I'm talking about. That's the equivalent of what happened when she got shocked by lightning. She's in a group, and the lightning clearly didn't kill her or really damage her. It just scared her. So,
Injured
like,
her.
what is she
Spell.
expecting? Like, I don't know. She's a child, obviously. I know this. I'm just saying, what is she expecting them to solve? She has to solve it herself by not being scared. That's the only solution.
She's getting that. Oh, high potions. Nice.
All I'm saying is she's clearly not equipped to be a guardian yet.
Bring it on.
I mean, she was
And I'm
doing
only
fine
saying that's
before we got
evidence
here.
that being a guardian isn't that big of a deal. Because Yuna is giving it to everyone, and the standard isn't. The initial established standard was okay. We had Kimari here, we had Lulu, and, Waka
Blitzball
I didn't
McGee.
really understand because he sucked at Blitzball. I didn't really get why he was a guardian. I think it's just because he wanted to help. I feel like he eventually just gained seniority. He was around long enough, getting them their drinks and helping them do the chores that they didn't want to do, and then they're just like, fine, Waka. You're gonna be a guardian.
Well-
By the way, you might die. And he's like, I'm not too scared. Waka's not scared though. That's the thing. He's kind of a reckless guy.
I mean, Riku just did 2,000 damage to this thing. So.
Well, no one's not saying she's powerful, but she has no grasp or comprehension of her own power.
And
Somehow
every-
lightning scares her, but she's perfectly okay fighting this giant night demon with a sword that could behead her. This Dark Souls boss here. Well, like, come on. I don't buy it. Riku isn't what she seems, or she is, and I'm not a fan of it.
Do you think that everyone's secretly the villain? Is that what you're getting at?
No, that doesn't mean she could be the villain. Not what
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
seem just means that that doesn't always mean wolf in sheep's clothing. It could just mean, you know what I mean? It could just mean dog in sheep's clothing. Which is like, oh, awesome, you're a dog. I want a dog. Oh, great.
This is a dumb analogy. I love it though. No, I'm almost there.
That would be Riku, I'm assuming, right? Dog in sheep's clothing. She's just really dumb. That's all.
Don't make it rumble.
Oh God! Please don't make it rumble. She's talking
Royal
about the
Rumble.
N64 controller.
No, she's talking about the Royal Rumble.
It's a new feature, Rumble.
It's like, no.
Well, only if you
How
had
could
the Rumble
guys
pack.
Put Batista in the main event. This is a terrible idea.
I'm
Where's
only ripping.
Brian?
Riku's not that bad. They're really leaning into the fact that she's a scared child. That's all.
Well, yeah, it pretty much goes away after we get out of the Thunder Plains.
I'm
Riku
hoping
is-
that by encountering enemies and things and danger, she eventually
Pulling out all the stop.
evolves. This is the beginning of the game. I've seen kids things before. Sometimes the characters start timid and turn into warriors.
Yeah.
Hey, fire attack.
Also, yeah, Riku is.
See, why doesn't he use this stuff in the Blitzball game? Dude, if he just like fire punched a dude, it would be over.
I think that
Like
might
he's basically secretly Ryu or Ken, but he doesn't ever let anyone see it when it matters. Like, screw the ball. He should be shooting fire energy.
Is Ryu a wizard?
Yes, universally. You don't have to. I am 100% of the belief that you do not need to use a staff to be a wizard. A wizard just means you channel powers from something else. Whereas a sorcerer, no. So a wizard doesn't usually. A wizard could use books, but the point is they're not getting it from. They're not getting like.
A sorcerer's power
Jedi
comes
and
from
Sith
within.
are wizards, in the same way that Ryu and Ken are wizards. Have you only seen them in the games, correct?
Yes.
Yes, in the animes, they clearly explain via some of the Akuma stuff that they're like Jedi and Sith. They're drawing energy from a source, not themselves. They're not internally creating that energy. That's to me what a sorcerer is. A sorcerer is someone who draws power from something to do with them, their own connection to something. Whereas Ryu and Ken draw power from a pool and then use it, which is to me that's wizards.
No,
Whether
I
you're
would
using a
agree
book,
that
a
would
staff.
be a wizard. I just
Yeah,
thought
they
it
call
was
it like the key force, or there's like a term for it in one of the anime I watched.
Oh,
But
if
like
it's key,
Akuma
that's
uses
like
a dark
Dragon Ball.
version of it. It might be like kata. It might be called like kata. But Akuma channels a dark version. That's why he's so freaking crazy. And there was one thing where I remember reading too. Akuma was doing something like an all. You know what? I could Google it, but I'm not going to. But it's essentially anime. There you go.
Ryan,
It's anime.
You have nothing else to do. Come on, Google that
Yeah.
shit.
Okay. You know what? Here, I will. I'll Google Akuma. We'll just see what Akuma's is.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry. Are you fucking busy right now?
Yeah, busy watching this sick battle. This grind.
Maybe I didn't put you in it. I'm not sure. Perfect. All those big heals on nobody. Spheres for everybody. Ability spheres too! There we go. Ryan, I just got 2 ability spheres, man.
Yeah, like, sorry, it's like Hado. Hado's involved in it. It's like Satso Day. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Okay, I'm reading here now. Let's see.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, so they have
break.
fighting styles that they learn, which some of those fighting styles involve the use of channeling powers, right? So that I consider from pools. So I consider that wizardry because
I
you're
would as well.
essentially.
I just didn't realize where those.
It might have pseudo, like I feel like it has pseudo. It honestly almost has religious roots because if you look at like Thai society and a lot of the people who live on the land, right, like live without a lot of the warrior spirit stuff is actually religious in nature to those people. Like it's part of their culture, right?
Cool.
Did you ever see Ong Bak or any of the Tony Jaa movies?
No,
Like,
I haven't.
Some of his stuff talk about some of that stuff. Like some of those people still believe in living on the land because it's a form of like that form of tribal culture is connected to the spirit of, lineage of heritage. There you go. Yeah, something called Shadowgeist. I think that's the organization for bison. This is I'm just reading. These are Akuma's dislikes, which don't actually answer any of my questions initially.
There we go, Riku.
There we go. Gameplay and fighting style. Yeah, this is actually just. This is video game stuff, like actual. I'm getting names of moves. I'm trying to. Okay, that's not what I want. This is just for a fandom, for a thing. There we go, the Capcom database. Maybe that's what I want.
Usually shooting the fly is not as easy as it seems.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I wonder, but likes, martial arts, training, raging demon, Satsuna Hadoi, fighting evil Ryu, strong opponents, becoming strong. One of his likes, fighting evil Ryu. Like what? How anime can you be?
What are you talking
That's
about?
like putting for Solid Snake, or like, what's his name? Liquid Snake. Likes. Fighting Solid Snake. Come on.
That is one of his likes.
Come on.
You joke, but that's absolutely one of his likes.
Like, even his dislikes. Goku-en for not... What is Goku-en? Is that the fighting style? Oh, no, that's a person. Right, that's a person. I don't know. Something about Hado.
Does Hado have anything to do with Hadoukens?
Anyway, in the story, in the anime, I watched Street Fighter 2V. I know, the title doesn't make any sense.
Good man.
And it was the Roman numeral 2 as well, and then they put V at the end, at the bottom, and I'm just like, what is it? 5? Street Fighter 2 5? Like,
25.
no, it's just V. It's actually pronounced. They do it V. That's how you're supposed to say it. It's 2V. I don't know why that. Anyway, he's like he channels Hado from like, it's like a mixture. Like, obviously it is using some of the energy inside him, but he's channeling energy from outside into him, and then shooting it out. Like I remember being very much like the Force. You know, like I'm channeling the Hado is in everything. It's in, you know what I mean, that type of thing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I have to say
Which to me is
now.
wizardry. That's not sorcery.
You can wait like 10 seconds until we get
Over
out of the
there.
place, okay? Fucking, yeah, no, let's just go talk on
The one thing that a lot of people always mix is necromancy, but necromancy could be an example of either, I find, because you could be actually
specifically has to be the dead. That's I think that either a sorcerer
Yes.
or a wizard could perform
yeah,
necromancy.
exactly. But a lot of people instantly assume because of the
Somehow,
dark version
my
of it
bad
that it has to be
feelings
sorcery.
always come
And it's
true.
like, no, because they could be channeling from hell, right? They could be working with a higher
They could
power.
be using the Necronomicon to
exactly.
do or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
decided to
But if they're
marry.
just using their
Oh,
own
shit,
powers,
Ryan.
then it's sorcery.
Yuna's gonna say yes to Seymour.
Right here in the lightning
Why?
storm.
Why'd you change your mind?
For Spear's future and Yevon's unity. I thought it would be the best thing to do.
That's not good enough.
Wait, is it? Is it because of Lord Jiskel?
Hey, that's Sphere.
Show me.
I can't. I must speak to Maester Seymour first. I truly am sorry, but it is a personal matter.
You're kidding, huh?
Fucking Waka.
As you wish.
I'm sorry.
You're kidding,
Just
y'all?
one thing.
I won't quit my pilgrimage.
Then it is
She won't.
fine.
Wait a minute, Orin. You don't care? I mean, you're not gonna stop her?
No, I'm not. As long as she is willing to face sin, all else is her concern.
Fucking
That
Orin.
is a summoner's privilege, as long as she journeys.
Don't give a fuck.
But that's...
No, but I want to do her.
Yuna, just one question. Can't you just talk to Maester Seymour?
Yeah, sure.
You got to marry him?
Those are pretty much the same thing, right, Ryan?
No. But
He's just gonna talk to
I
him.
think it is the right thing
Yep,
to
that's
do.
it. Just a nice conversation.
Handshake, have a handshake.
Yes.
Waka's been married, you can tell.
Uni.
Marriage is just a series of conversations. I mean, he's really nailed it. Very simplistic view of the world.
I'm sorry, I love
wish we
Riku.
could help
She's fucking
somehow.
great.
Some way.
Things are serious enough now that she's like,
It's
no,
okay.
my fear of lightning can wait.
I'll
Fuck
be
you,
fine.
lightning.
No, she yelled quiet at
She
it.
says I'm
Yeah, that was a
sorry.
good moment.
He says it's fine.
I unironically
She's
love that
willing
moment.
to face sin. She's privileged. I didn't
I don't know,
understand.
reacting to weather. I don't know.
But somehow, I felt like I didn't belong.
Funny where she was
But
just
if I
like,
didn't belong with them,
fuck you, I'm doing a
I'd be
thing
stuck
here.
in Spira.
Weather.
alone. And being
Stuck in
alone in that
Spira
place,
alone.
well, I didn't want to think about it.
Well, then don't.
Next, we're going to Makalania Temple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yuna
Finish
can
this
talk with
dungeon.
Seymour there.
This isn't really
We
done.
We got the
Guardians
lightning
will wait
badge.
until
Time to go
they're
get the
done.
water badge.
And plan our next move. Understood.
Or maybe it'll be fire, or maybe it'll be another element entirely.
Do you
Machina.
guess?
I don't know. What is the name of the
Tara
temple?
Strong
They
did the
said?
voice for Riku? That
Maclennan
makes
Temple
sense.
or something?
Makalani.
It actually, you know what? I have a feeling that this is going to be like sky-based or something. You're gonna have to ride something up into the air,
Okay.
and then like the temple will be in the sky, cloud, and there'll be like a cloud people, not cloud the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know what you
clouds
mean.
as in.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I had googled some stuff here. So first of all, the power that Akuma wields is called the Satsui no Hado, which I said before, or it's also loosely translated as the Dark Hado, but sometimes it also means the surge of murderous intent. Anyway, it's a dark energy force based force. So as far as I'm concerned, that right there means it's not channeled internally. It's an energy-based force that's outside. But apparently, to get to this state, you have to be exceptionally angry all the time, or be near death or something, right? It's like a barbarian blood state almost. Like you know how sometimes they like kind of make that like you're channeling the demon, the devil himself to keep alive at that point, right? Like that's kind of what they do. This is kind of that. But apparently it's different than Ryu and Ken do not use the same fighting style. They don't channel the same fighting thing or whatever. Goku and Ryu channel one called, I had to bring it because it's the most anime name ever, which is the opposite of Akuma's murderous intent. It's called the power of nothingness.
That sounds awesome!
And it is a light-based energy force known for its use by Goken, which I think is one of Ryu's teachers, and Akuma.
You could have made that name up for all I know, but I'm genuinely unsure.
Listen, the more I read of this is just Jedi and Sith.
I mean, yeah, basically.
Listen, the power of nothingness is a state of consciousness transcending ordinary perspective, born through spiritual and mental refinement. Bearing common traits with states of being within Buddhism, martial arts, and spiritual perfection, it is the power to act without being attached to emotions and thought, free of fear, anger, pride, and ego, to draw upon the contents of one's heart intuitively, without obstacle and hesitation, and to be aware of the world and to know one's place and meaning within its vastness. To flow with all of creation without the need. They're Sith and Jedi. Done. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They just don't use laser swords. Because they're not in the future. Actually, in the past, in a galaxy far, far away, sorry.
Yeah, Ryan, come on. The future. Fucking what?
It can only be used by a person of pure mind, compassion, mercy, peace. Good things.
People who are chill as fuck, yo. We finally got Lulu out of, all of her level 2 magic, by the way.
Oh yeah, and Bison's power is called the Psycho Power. That's what he channels. So they're all channeling spiritual energies, which implies that they come from sources that aren't themselves, as far as I'm concerned. Because if they need religion to channel it, then that's not you. That's something. Right? So, yeah. Like Jesus isn't a sorcerer. He's a wizard. Right? He channels God. Correct? God's the sorcerer. Then the argument, right? Is that how that would work?
Yes.
I don't know. Or is Jesus a sorcerer? I'm pretty sure he channels the will of God, which is not his own will, so it can't be him. He's not doing it himself.
Ryan, I'm gonna
without God, Jesus doesn't do anything.
Not really.
Although I guess without God there is no Jesus.
Not really a big Christianity person.
It's just anime.
Christianime?
Oh man, I kind of feel like that needs to have. It probably has. I probably have been so off the anime hole sometimes that there's probably an anime with Jesus Christ Superstar, the anime.
I would actually watch that. That's a
It's just Jesus set in a post-apocalyptic ancient time where modern-day America went into the past and destroyed everything before Jesus was born, and then Jesus is born in those environments. So then he has to become like a hero for the people in a different way, and then you would just animate the shit out of it. He's the main character.
I can get down with that.
And you got to build a party. Square, get on it. I'm booking you American Gold here. You want to get the Western audiences involved? Absolutely. Apparently Jesus is hot. No, not anymore. You haven't seen Dogma, but there's a great bit in that where the George Carlin comes out to unveil the
actual George Carlin.
Yeah, because he was alive. Dogma was released in the 90s.
No, I know, but like they just
he's in Jay and Silent Bob too. He's a road trucker who gives blowjobs. Weird connection bit here, but he's a road trucker who gives blowjobs, and he tells Jay and Silent Bob to get along the road. You just need to you need to go down on someone. So then Jay and Silent Bob get picked up by a nun played by Carrie Fisher.
Sure.
Oh man, yeah. So then Jay goes down on her, and then they get kicked out. Anyway, it was a silly bit.
That's a pretty silly bit.
Anyway, George Carlin is the runner of the priest, like the head priest of a church. And they unveil the Buddy Christ, which is just Jesus Christ doing like a wink and like the shotgun finger pose or the double salute finger pose. It's pretty great. They call him the Buddy Christ. You can Google him. It's a pretty funny image.
Yeah. Oh, I think I've seen it before. Not like in that context, but like yeah.
In memes, yeah, it's constantly used. Dogma's pretty ridiculous.
I've definitely seen it if it's in memes.
Dogma's actually about angels and demons and shit, because there's two angels that fall down from heaven at the beginning that are played by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. That's literally the plot of the movie.
Oh, sure.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Somehow Jay and Silent Bob get involved. So does Chris Rock and Alan Rickman.
Of course I'm worried about her. What is she thinking?
Cast.
I like Dogma. I think it's a funny movie.
What is
Maybe one of these
exchange
days
for
we'll do it
agreeing
as a drinking and watching.
She hopes to negotiate with Seymour.
A powering through the mill.
Negotiate what?
I wonder.
What are we negotiating?
What? All by herself?
That's why Yuna wants to marry Seymour, is for negotiation power.
She's strong, but Seymour is the better negotiator.
Or in speculation.
Why would she?
Why don't we do something?
Yeah, this is all speculative power. I don't actually know for sure what she gets from marrying him. That hasn't really been detailed.
She has been very vague about it.
I just don't get it.
And so is Seymour.
Doesn't she trust us?
Yes.
Which furthers my suspicions. If I think Seymour's the villain, then Yuna marrying him is a clear sign of villainy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I thought.
Or a double agent.
But that makes me worry
She's
even
going
more.
undercover as the villain.
She could just tell us.
Oh, so she's like the boss in Metal Gear Solid 3?
That's the way she is.
She's actually the hero, but she's going to be remembered as the villain?
Serious to a fault.
Yep.
And
Big Boss is the villain? Yeah.
Well, Big Boss wasn't the villain of Metal Gear Solid 3. He was still...
You're probably right.
But she predicted that Big Boss would turn into the villain in Metal Gear Solid 3, which is why she was doing what she was doing. Like, that was the whole take. That's why Kojima told it in the weird Star Warsian order that he did. Like, jump around.
Always.
Yeah.
Like, Big Boss was actually the villain all along, I believe, is the actual take.
What a thrill.
Slowpoke!
In darkness and silence.
Sorry.
Slowpokes, what a word. I haven't
It's
heard that
funny
word in
how
a while.
calm I was. Maybe
What
it
a
was
Pokemon?
because I'd realized that
Yeah, it is a
Yuna
Pokemon.
wasn't marrying Seymour for love. Not really.
I still have a chance.
It was just her duty. Something she had to do before returning to her pilgrimage. That's
She felt she
what
had to
I
be
kept
married to
telling
do it.
myself anyway.
I think she thinks it would somehow aid her on her pilgrimage.
Maybe.
Well, yes.
I realized that Yuna and
Seymour's
I never,
powerful.
You know.
There's political bullshit.
But maybe
Yuna,
too powerful.
Let's go.
Steve, I don't really have anything else going on, so yeah. This seems to be the most important thing happening in this world. Everything else is pretty much dead. Or
Yeah, I
lightning,
won
or
that
fighting
blitzball game.
things. I mean, I've been through Bisad, I've been through Kill Kaport, I've been through Luca, Goddessland, the Temple of Yevondos, Moonflow, and the Thunder Plains. We're all the way
Hang
here.
on.
So I tried to
wanna
get
try
through
a few
all
of
of them
those
before
names
it
again?
disappeared off the screen. I
Well,
tried.
you got most of them wrong. It's Besaid, Kilika, Luca, Temple of
I said
Yevon,
Luca.
Jose.
I said Temple of
Doze.
Yevon. I didn't see that.
You said
it was
Doze.
okay,
TJ,
it went off the
Oza,
screen just as that happened.
SE.
I didn't see the J.
Okay.
I earnestly didn't.
Jose. Yep.
It
Well,
kind of went off the screen pretty quickly, so I was trying.
You went off the screen pretty quickly. And I think this is a
And
good
I said
place to
Luca.
call.
I said Luca.
Yes. To call this episode.
And you know what else I pronounced correctly? Thunder Plains. That's right. That American-ass American name there.
Good
I
fucking
pronounced
job,
that
dude.
one correctly, even though I'm Canadian. That's
you
right.
You should be real proud
Even
of
though I'm
yourself.
literally from the plains.
Yeah, you are. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Next time, we'll keep going through this fucking woods.
The real question is Yuna a wizard or a sorcerer?
I mean, she gets her summons from temples.
Yeah, so she's
definitely
a
a-
wizard.
Yeah.
What about Lulu?
Lulu is a
She gets it
sorcerer.
from a bear. A doll.
No, that doesn't... She can trade those things out. That's just a thing. I'm pretty sure
It's just aesthetic?
She's a sorcerer.
She's a sorcerer? Okay, what about
Yeah.
what about Steve? He summons magic. All the characters technically can learn to summon. What about the summons? The what are they? Carl, Dave,
Companions.
Little
They're
Caesar.
familiars. Little Caesar. It's never gonna not be funny. Little Caesar.
Little Caesar. Okay. That'll end it with this one. All you wizards and sages. What about Harry Potter? He's a wizard, obviously. He's a what?
Obviously, you're a wizard, Harry. See you guys next time.